I think we're going to start with favorite new artist to you. So it might be older, something you didn't know about. I feel like this happened a lot on this podcast.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I learned a shitload of bands from you guys, and the first one I'm going to pick fits that perfect. Are we just doing one?
You could do one or two, yeah.
Yeah, so I get two on deck here. The first one actually came from Tone, from one of our guests, which is The Dangerous Summer. They've been around, what, for a decade?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so they're kind of like a pop punk, power pop type of, really polished vocals, real catchy. I could see him on tour with Jimmy Eat World. I could see him on tour with Fall Out Boy. They could fit anywhere in there. But yeah, I love these guys. It's just, you throw this on when you're driving in the summer, windows down, puts you in a good mood. Deep catalog too. I feel like I'd heard the name, but that's about it. So obviously, Tone, you know them.
Yeah, I got into him this year too. That was one of my ones. So we overlap already, but that doesn't really surprise me. With, we've spent countless hours this year talking music, so not a shock that we had a little overlap with some lists. Dangerous Summer, yeah. Jason Tate, our episode 23 guest, he had tweeted about them or posted something, and maybe it was the liner notes he sends out every week. And I was like, you know what? I typically like to check stuff out here and there that that he's put out there and has explained as something that I might like. And this fit. It's perfect. The album was Mother Nature, came out last year, and it's just a great record, front to back. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Cranked it most of the late summer into the early fall. Even listened to it again recently when I sent a text to you guys like, check this out, guys. I think you'll like it. They put an EP out like a couple weeks ago. Haven't listened to that yet. Need to get on that.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
In prep for this, I was listening to stuff from this year, so it hadn't crossed my year end stuff yet, but I am excited to peep that. So cool band. Go check them out.
Nice. It's awesome. I got one too for me, and this is kind of an interesting thing because we had one of the members on the podcast. I didn't know a whole lot. It was one of those things, like you said, Tuan. Like I think I saw it on a festival bill and whatnot. So a loss for words. I didn't know much of their music at all, and then prepping for the interview, I was like, oh man, I really like this band all of a sudden. So I wish I had seen them earlier. Definitely some show regret there, but now I'm a big fan. So props to you to introducing me to both Maddie and to his music, because I'm a super fan for his music.
Nice. And that's the thing. It's like they may not be a band, but their legacy is out there for you to check out and go back. And great thing about them is they have 4 full lengths, multiple EPs, multiple splits, a Motown album, 2 acoustic albums. So massive catalog. So there's plenty to pull from.
Yeah, they're cool. I similar to you, Nate. I thoroughly enjoyed deep diving into that when we knew we were getting Maddie on, and listening to it since. There's some really cool stuff in that catalog. Tuan, I think you and I both watched the Friends Unite for Christmas thing, the stream that they did the other night. That he still got it, man. He can still sing. He's sitting in the living room, hadn't really had any chance to really warm up or do any practice with the guys because he just drove cross country, as you heard on our podcast with us on episode 39. But he can still belt it out, man. He can still sing.
And drinking Fireball the whole time.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Nate, I don't know if you tuned in, but if you donated $5 or $10, they would take a shot on camera type of thing. That was another way
he owes us some shots then, because I know we donated more than $5.
Oh, nice. He said he would buy you a beer too, right? So there's a lot of boozery crossover with this one.
Always.
We want to go around one more time for the new artists, or are you guys good there?
Yeah, no, I was going to mention Home Safe, the band Home Safe. I found the album One earlier this year, and I really liked that. It came out in 2018. I ended up picking it up on Discogs, so I got the vinyl too. That's a cool record. Hadn't heard of them before. Pure Noise, maybe.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, they're thoroughly enjoyed that record. I think they've got something in the works for this coming year too. So excited to hear more. And they got a little bit of a catalog too. So definitely a cool band, kind of fits some of the stuff we've talked about here. Check those guys out if you haven't.
My next one was the band Hut Mulligan. So I don't know if you guys have heard them. They're, I would say, in that Menzinger's Wonder Years realm. I actually thought they were on Pure Noise, but they're on No Sleep Records. One thing I will say is definitely a bandicap. Like that name, I don't know. It doesn't do it for me. It's a tough one. Like I'm not gonna rock their merch, but if you haven't heard them and you like, even if you like Home Safe, you know what I mean. If you like anything in that realm, this will be great. More closer to the Wonder Years, I think, than maybe Menzinger's, but in that family for sure.
I like that. I like the Wonder Years.
Yeah, you're a fan. And you know what? It's funny you said the Menzingers because Tone, I think you've been trying to get me into them for years.
Yeah. Yep.
And then we were talking about it on this podcast, so I finally checked it out. So that extra push. So now I'm a fan of that too. So I would say that's another band that I discovered this year, which is my bad for slacking because now I love them. But the podcast kind of brings it to the next level. So
yeah, it's fun to just wreck stuff and have your buddies get into it. And with this, we've obviously had an outlet for that, and it's been a lot of fun to find new things and learn things about you guys that I didn't know musically. That it's like, all right, cool, I can check out this band I would never have heard of or thought about before because you guys are into it. Even though we have a lot that isn't common, there's a ton that isn't. So that's been fun.
Yeah, that's a good point. There's a lot of surprises, just a lot of discovery, like doing the interviews or anything that you're talking about. Like there's so much homework involved, a lot of research, like, oh shit, I have to like research this band, but then I become a fan. So it's that extra push because there's some homework behind the scenes, but